You know what's kind of crazy? I'm doing a business degree, right? I'm doing a bachelor's of business. I am midway through my second year of my 3-year degree, so I'm basically exactly halfway through. I go to class and I feel like I'm learning a lot. But if somebody were to ask me what sort of stuff I'm learning in business, I would like not know what to tell them. If they were like, what like actual specific skills and knowledge are you learning? I'd be like, I don't know. I can't really give you anything. But I know I am learning stuff. But it's not the same as if you were like studying psychology and someone was like, "Oh, what are you learning?" You could be like, "Oh, I'm learning, you know, the anatomy of the brain, and I'm learning about these experiments that, you know, shaped the foundation of the science." I'd be like, I don't know, you learn about this, like, you know what business is? It's all about, like, one guy who was a successful businessman who will then be like, I have this theory that everyone else needs to follow if they want to be a good businessman like me, and then they make up a little chart or a little fucking table or a little acronym, and they'll be like, this is exactly what led me to being the greatest businessman of the 19th century. And then that's what they teach you in business for the next 100 years. But it's like there's so many of them, because there's a lot of, you know, successful businessmen in history, or in the last, you know, in the last half century. And so there's a lot of like those acronyms and charts and things that they want to teach you, but a lot of them basically say the same thing. A lot of them are very simple, or like a lot of them are very similar, or a lot of them are very like sort of obvious. Like, I feel like most people would be able to come up with the SWOT formula, you know. Oh, you want to evaluate your business, and it's like, and its chance of success in the market. What would you look at? You would look at what your business is good at. You would look at what it's not good at. You would look at maybe some opportunities for you to make your business better. And then you would probably look at like some things maybe you should be worried about, some threats. Like I think most people would be able to figure that out without having to learn that. There is some like more advanced stuff that I'm sure some people wouldn't know, but most of it's not like specific knowledge that you would never be able to find anywhere else unless you did a degree in it. If you were like, you need to learn everything you can about biology, I would be like, alright, I don't really know where to start with that. Because I don't know what I don't know about biology. But business, if you were like, you need to learn everything you can about how to run a business or how to start a business, I feel like you would immediately have some questions about like, alright, I don't know how to do, like, I know I should know how to do this, but I don't, so let me try and learn that, you know. Because everyone is like, oh, obviously I need money, so how do I keep track of my money, aka accounting? How do I use my money to get more money, aka finances? How do I do marketing? Because everyone knows what marketing is. How do I do marketing? How do I hire, fire, train people, aka human resources? And then how do I just like generally manage stuff? How do I get my product? Supply chain. Like I feel like most people would be able to like think it through a little bit, and then they could just look up stuff. You don't need to do a 3-year business degree to be able to start a business, because there's not a lot of like hands-on skills that you need to learn either. It's like you need to learn how to, I mean, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing accounting, you need to learn how to use the accounting softwares that everybody uses. But like, you could do that without having the degree. Everything else, it's like basically knowledge based. If you're trying to go into sales or you're doing entrepreneurship, you probably want to know how to speak pretty good. You want to know how to make a good PowerPoint presentation, you want to know how to, like, write up a business report, but, like, other than that, you're kind of chilling. Like, if somebody was, if somebody wanted to know, if somebody wanted to know all of the stuff that I learn in my classes without paying for the 3-year degree, I would sit them down, I would maybe make a PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint presentation would be maybe, like, 50 slides, and I would sit them down for, like, an hour or two, and I could teach them. I would say, here's a notebook, take notes on everything, and then I would do a presentation, and I would teach them everything that I've learned within the 1.5 years of my degree so far. And and then I'd be like, alright, you're chilling. There's nothing else you need. Anything else you need, you can look up on the internet. Am I saying that a business degree is a scam? No. But am I saying that you need it to be a businessman? Also no. I think all you need to start your own business, or to work in a business field, is, well, if you're starting your own business, you need money, obviously. If you have the money, like, look up some basic information, maybe talk to someone who's a little bit more experienced in that, but you do not need a 3-year degree. Just have some common sense, and maybe a little bit of, like, maybe someone that you can just talk to if you really need, like, specialized knowledge. But that's really it. Businesses always want you to have a business degree to work at, like, a big company, but, like, you don't really need to. You just need to be able to write emails, write reports, make PowerPoints, and talk good. And then you can be the marketing manager at any fucking business firm. In the modern day, you know what you need to be a good marketing manager at any firm in the modern day? You just need to have a basic understanding of how to post on social media and like, it do well in the algorithm. You just need a basic understanding of how social media algorithms work, how social media trends work. And that is it. Because no one does, unless you're a company that's, like, advertising specifically to, like, very old people, or even like 40 to 60-year-olds. You're not going to be doing newspaper marketing. You're not going to be doing TV marketing, radio marketing. You're going to be doing social media marketing. For like 90% of businesses these days are going to be doing social media marketing. So, like, all you need to know is, like, how the different social medias work, how the algorithms work, which is pretty simple information to figure out. It's like, oh, what do you, like, if you post a YouTube video, what do you think's gonna, do you think a YouTube video with a boring title, a boring thumbnail, with a boring presenter with minimal editing is gonna do well? Or do you think a YouTube video that's got an attractive thumbnail, a catchy title, some hashtags maybe, and some engaging visuals and audio? It's like, obviously you know which one's gonna perform better. And that's basically the same on every social media. It's like, take advantage of trends that you see, use hashtags, be exciting. Then that's like that your thing's probably gonna do well. And a lot of it is just posting as much as possible and hoping something gets picked up by the algorithm. That is a lot of trying to social media market. It's like, you don't need crazy knowledge. But you can't get hired at any business firm without getting a bachelor's degree. Unless you have nepotism on your side. Which is what a lot of people do these days. Like, I would guess that most people getting hired into higher up business positions at, like, any company, it's mostly due to nepotism these days, or like not even necessarily nepotism, but just connections. Just like, oh yeah, I met this guy at this thing and he seemed really capable and I have his LinkedIn. Let me call him up and we can interview him and maybe he'll be good for this. Like, that's probably most of these things. Or like, oh, this is my friend from high school. This is my neighbor. This is my nephew, you know? It's like, that's kind of what it is these days. Most people are not getting hired at some sort of firm, working for 5 years, getting promoted to a managerial position, and that's that. It's mostly connections. Connections will get you a lot further than any knowledge in this world. Which is a little bit unfortunate for us people who were not born with many connections. But, you know, it is what it is. Communication and making good impressions on the people around you is one of the most valuable skills that you can learn in life. And it's completely free to learn. All you need to do is practice. It is a stat that you simply must grind. But it's also the most overpowered stat in the game. My brother did not... Well, he graduated high school, but he graduated with a VM certificate, not a VC certificate. And he did not go to university. He currently has a very cushy office job. Like, not a managerial one, but like just a good full-time office job. And so he's chilling. And he got that job purely from just knowing people. I'm gonna graduate with my 3-year business degree, and I'm probably not gonna be able to get hired anywhere. It is pretty unfortunate, but it's true. But also, my degree doesn't really hinge on needing to get hired anywhere, because it's the whole point of my degree and my entrepreneurship major is that you're supposed to graduate and then go start your own business, which is probably what I will do. But it would be nice to also have the opportunity to get hired somewhere. But probably won't be the case. So, you know, I'm not, like, we're not cooked. It's just, things are a little bit more difficult, but that's mainly because of my own fault and my own, choosing. My own decision making. If I was getting a degree purely to get hired, I would not be doing the degree that I'm doing. I would probably do, like, a teaching degree. Because it's very easy to get hired as a teacher these days. Or a nursing degree. But I chose my specific degree because it's what I wanted to do. So I definitely don't regret what I've chosen. I picked my degree at the intersection of what I think will help me make a living and what I am passionate about. Which I think is the best that we can hope to achieve in the current state of the world. If I was just gonna do something that if I was deciding what I wanted to do with my life purely based off of passion and not having to worry about any sort of income, I would just be doing what I'm doing right now, but I would be doing it probably a lot. I'd probably be doing it 8 hours a day. But that is not feasible, so we have to make sacrifices and compromises. But I'm fairly happy with the state of my life right now. Obviously things could be better, but things could also be a lot worse. At the moment I have steady education that will hopefully lead to making good income sometime in the future, within the next couple of years. I've got friends. I've got, you know, the potential for romantic connection in my young life. I mean, that's a whole nother story, you know. That's a whole nother story, but, like, I'm not currently dating anybody, but I have the potential to find someone within the next couple of years as well, so I'm not too stressed about that. So, like, I'm waking up every day not having to worry too much about, you know, how am I gonna pay for food and groceries. I mean, rented groceries every day, so obviously I'm doing a lot better than some people, but you know, I'm not waking up every day on mountains of cash like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, you know. But overall, things are pretty good. Things are the best that they could realistically hope to be right now, which is kind of all you can ask. You know, things could be a lot worse. I could be one of the people I went to high school with who still lives in my 5,000 population town, and is still working the same casual job that they worked at 15. So I'm happy I'm not doing that.